Hello, MGTOW. Hello, men. This is Howard Dare. Thanks for stopping by. So, I want to talk about finding your way in a blue pill, gynocentric world, because that's the trick. That's the con. That's what's going on here, ladies and gentlemen. First, let me say thank you to everybody who's been stopping by, liking, sharing, commenting, subscribing, even donating. I really appreciate it. Now, let's talk about finding your way in a blue pill world. Because here's the thing. This gynocentric blue pill world system is largely designed to enslave the men, to serve women, to serve society as sacrificial, altruistic animals. Okay, your highest goal, your highest ambition is sacrifice to the group. And it's been taken to absurd, ridiculous levels. So an idea that starts out maybe with some basic merit, then gets taken too far, then becomes an absurdity. So you're not even allowed to have your own interests. In other words, you have to look after the other groups that actually are opposed to your interests. So as a citizen of a country, Western civilization, you are actually paying taxes to bring people into your country that want to destroy you and replace your way of life. And you're paying for that, okay? Not just it's happening and you have to deal with it. You're paying for it and your government is behind it. So do you see what I mean? That this idea of sacrifice and altruism gets taken to this absurd, retarded level. It's shameful that, anyway, let's talk about the individual man. You, growing up in a system that's designed to trick you into putting aside your own values, your own interests, your own well-being to serve other people so that you can get ahead in the world. It really is trying to make a virtue out of your own disposability. And it's not done to women. Oh no. You know, our early educational system really treats boys like they're simply damaged women, like they're damaged girls. Like if they would just act a little bit more like the girl, if they would just act like the girls, then everything would be okay. And you have female teachers. Now, you can understand why initially you bring in the female teachers to deal with the young children, right? It's a good idea, but then it goes too far. It goes to the absurd level. Then you start bringing in women that are not qualified. Then you start bringing in women that are unhealthy. Then you start bringing in people that are thoroughly unqualified and unhealthy and very unhealthy. And they're living off of the government paychecks. And they consume the government media, which is paid, which the government can buy and which anybody can buy and own. So this message of male disposability gets drummed into the heads. And understand, it's not simply in the educational institutions. It's echoed in the entertainment industry. It's echoed in the religious institutions. Find your cross and climb up on it. Now, is sacrifice a bad thing? No, sacrifice is a fine thing if you're doing it for something that you value and that you love. If it's something that you've decided to do. See, it's not even a sacrifice at that stage. It's you giving something to something that you care about. And this is the way to make progress in the world. And this is the basic message which is being denied to men. I don't know that this is the basic way for women to get ahead in the world. I've coming to the conclusion that the way of some people to get ahead in the world their whole lives is to complain and to get others to feel guilty, to demonize the behavior of others, to make others feel sorry for them, and to then demand and request the compensation and services of others. And this is mostly geared towards men, boys. And it's done by simply demonizing the male behavior. Oh, you want to go out and play? Oh, you would like an example of what we're talking about here in the classroom? Oh, you can't sit still for an hour at a time, little boy? And then you see their natural behavior is demonized. And it continues. It continues throughout the whole thing. The competitiveness of the boys, the lack of concern for people's feelings and focusing on results and objects, getting things done. That's insensitive. The simple ability of a leader, of somebody who is just a little smarter, a little more physically fit, a little faster, a little more bettered nature. The natural inclination of those individuals to take charge, to be leaders, to go their own way, to find their own way, and then for others to follow them. This simple biological function is being taken away from us because we're all equal and we're all the same. Have you ever met a movie star, a real movie star? Okay? I'm sorry to tell you this, okay? We're not all equal, and we're not all the same. Have you ever seen even Katy Perry standing next to her brother and sister? There's videos right here on YouTube for that one, you know? Now, I'm no huge Katy Perry fan, all right? But she, Katy Perry, and her brother and her sister are not equal. I'm sorry, right? She, Katy Perry, is tall and thin and stunning looking and has great energy and is very symmetrical. And it's a pleasure to look at. It's like poetry in motion. And then compared to her siblings, you know, they're just normal people. They're normal height. They're a little overweight. They're a little clumsy. They're a little awkward. They're a little uncomfortable. They don't have 2 or 3 high-level talent, you know, creative abilities to demonstrate to you. They're not amazingly charming. They don't have shining blue eyes. They're just regular people, and it shows. And when you meet some of these people, you know, you think like, oh, this is just a normal, regular person just like me. It's like, no, they're not. They're 10% bigger smile, better cheekbones, better attitude. You know, they can eat and they still stay healthy. They can eat, you know, the wrong types of food. So we're not all equal. I'm sorry to tell you that. And you can understand why in each generation, people are attracted to beauty and they're willing to pay resources. Men are willing to, you know, give up resources to have access to beautiful women, and women aren't going to go with just a regular type of man. They can do that, you know. So you can understand why each generation you would be creating these more beautiful women and these more capable men. But now you want to put that on its head. We are putting that on its head. And this is the attack on standards of people. You know, we're all equal. You're not allowed to look at it that way. But there's no denying it. When Katy Perry is standing next to her siblings, you know who's who. So how, as a man, are you going to find your way in this environment? The system is actually saying that the man has no inherent value, right? We're all equal. We're all the same. Everybody has rights. You have to open up the door for her. You have to give over your resources to her. You have to give up your position on the football team, on the military, to her, even though she is nowhere near capable of performing the job. And you have to give it to other people too. And guess what? They can't even speak the language. So your top sales position in the company is going to go to somebody who can't even speak the language. It's not a joke, right? And they're going to train. They're going to train all the other salespeople. It's not a joke because, you know, you have your quota. So the world is not based on being effective and getting things done. It's based on not offending anybody's feelings and, you know, making sure that you make the right social statement. And the men are punished simply for being men. You can see where evolution and just the natural environment rewards men for being capable, healthy men. And you can see, and the same with women. And you can see how this furthers the goal of evolution to where you're always going to have more capable, more attractive people. But then, you know, you step in with a modern technological society and all of its resources and you say, we're going to take care of the least among you and we're going to say that we're all equal. And we're going to take this value of equality and we're going to apply it in this ridiculous, absurd level to somebody on the other side of the world who wants to destroy your way of life. And now you're going to take care of them and you're going to give them free housing. So the men, the boys, you are being raised in a system where you're the servants, you're the slave to that system. That's where your tax dollars are going to go. Those are the ideals that you are being taught to defend. So when I step forward and say, no, you're going to have to find your own way. It's like, he's not allowed to say that. What is he must be crazy. It's like, no, you're going to have to find your own way because the way of the people around you is to make you a sacrificial animal. If you're a man, I mean, if you love women and you're a good man and, you know, you're not a wimp, right? So now you have to do a whole set of things. And these involve going against your real interests. I don't know, maybe you want to be an artist. I don't know, maybe you want to be a builder. Maybe you want to be a scientist. But no, you're going to do whatever makes the most money so that you can attract a woman. But she wants to use up your resources. She doesn't want you. She doesn't want to further your goals in life. She's quite resentful of any sort of ability. This is the same thing if the quarterback, the guy who can be the quarterback, he can't be the quarterback. We've got to put somebody who doesn't know how to play football in the position of the quarterback. Otherwise, it's not fair, okay? And you can't work for yourself. You can't do right and have your own values and do the things you want to do. for yourself. You have to do that for strangers, for the other people in the group that are less fortunate than you. Check your privilege. See, that's the system that you're being raised in. That's tough. So what I recommend is you get into physical health, you get into kind of like male dominated activities, and you throw yourself into those activities and you ignore the group around you. You don't ignore them, but you know what I mean? You don't have anything to do with them. You don't need to be part of that group. You need to become physically fit and strong. You need to become smart and capable. You need to become self-reliant and independent so that the group can't control you. You need to recognize that women are not the most important thing in the world. Being a servant to your biology is not the smartest move in the world. You need to be able to look at your situation, look at where you want to be without getting emotional, and then do the things that you need to do in your daily life to get to the places where you want to be. And if you think that you can just rely on the people around you to tell you where to go and how to be in life, you cannot, because the majority of those men are broken men. They become broken, crippled, sad, ineffective men. And you don't want that for yourself. So if you just go along, that's the way you're going to go. So you need to find your own way. Now, it's going to be hard because you're going to want to say, oh, the whole system has lied to me. I can't have any faith in anything. That's not true. That's not accurate. A certain aspect of it, you deluded yourself over it. That's all. But 70, 80% of it, it's all just fine. Physical reality still exists exactly the same way it did. If you work hard today, you can get good results tomorrow. If you do what's right today, you can become stronger and better off tomorrow. And it's not a guarantee, but it's the way to move forward. It's the way it's probably going to work 90% of the time. So I know that I went a little bit off topic here, but I feel strongly about, these issues. Let me know what you think about it in the comments section below. And please like, share, comment, subscribe, donate, and join me again, Howard Dare, as I plan to have more content for you. Thank you, MGTOW.